Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another wonderful Action Trippin Ballscast. We are here. We didn't quit. Last week was my technological ineptitude. I didn't have. I could hear Udros just fine, but it wasn't recording into the right. Basically, it was recording through a different input than I was actually recording with. So it was coming in one way, I was recording with another, and it was a very lovely one-sided conversation with myself.
Yes, hello everybody. Good to be back, and it's good to be. It's good not to be on mute for starters. But we were discussing the possibility of putting, editing the video and putting in lovely jazz elevator music instead of my voice.
Yeah, and that just is too much work.
Well, I mean, but it would be, it would be so unique. I mean, who has a vidcast? I mean, like that. Although I think that if it was what it was an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, it went really long. So
Yeah,
and I don't know how long people would take listening to the. Another suggestion we had was yakety sax yakety sax or muzak. I don't think we could.
Right. The joke would get old like after 10 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, and that might be
not
generous.
an hour and 10 minutes.
No.
But yeah, it's great to be back, and just in time, we have a lot of things we can talk about this week, which is nice. We have a lot of upcoming releases.
Yeah.
And we're just out of the Tom Clancy's the beta for Tom Clancy's Division, which is definitely the highlight. Like everybody's talking about it, and so.
Because it's nice when a game lives up to the hype,
Well, I mean, like last year, for instance, we had the Star Wars Battlefront beta, which was really gave me I enjoyed it, and I sort of had my doubts about how they would do certain things in the final release, and I wasn't entirely sure about the game. But I came out with positive impressions. I mean, I don't want to project anything negative for the Division because I'd heard a lot of people praising this in different ways, and at the same time, overall, I just think. I mean, you played it on the PS4, right? So,
yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. What was your? Just I don't know. What was the best thing for you? What was the biggest thing you enjoyed about it?
I guess the biggest thing I really enjoyed was finding out that you could play it by yourself, and it was just as enjoyable by yourself. When I played it at San Diego Comic-Con, we just did the PvP in the Dark Zone, and that was very, I don't know, kind of chaotic, and I liked working with the fire team, and I had a lot of fun with it. But at the same time, I didn't really want to always have to need that team every single time I got in to play.
That's a huge compliment right there. I mean, since it's going to be a multiplayer game, but a lot of developers are now making the mistake of just not polishing that aspect of the game. So it's good to hear that it kind of delivers for the time being, judging from the beta.
Right, and you can do all the stuff that I did with your fire team, but I just kind of wanted to see well, is it possible to do it by yourself, or is it too hard to do by yourself? And the answer is no. Maybe you just can't go around in guns a-blazing, but it's a cover-based shooter. So I mean, even when we're doing PvP, you couldn't go in guns blazing. It was you had to stay in cover, or you were going to die. And
but it's nice to know you can do solos.
Yes.
I mean, you can go solo and not feel threatened to the point that you would not enjoy it anymore, or that it would be too big of a challenge or something.
Right. Now the funny thing is that when I actually finally started to do the main campaign missions, I had done so many encounters and side missions that I was grossly overpowered for it, which to me is fine. That's a sign to me of a fun not JRPG. Got that on the brain. A fun RPG, where you can go do all this stuff and level up.
But it's gonna is it gonna be like that? Sorry, in the final game.
Yes, I mean they've made it very clear that this is an RPG. It is all about leveling up because then I mean, like an RPG, you get new abilities. You can carry different weapons. You can wear different gear.
No, but I'm just thinking like in terms of balancing it. You said that you were
Yeah.
overpowered in a sense. So is it gonna be like that, or are they gonna maybe? Oh, I mean, I don't know if
Well, I
it's.
mean, but I think most RPGs are like that to begin with. If you like, I know people who when they played Skyrim, they didn't do any of the, they did the main missions in the beginning because you have to. There's nothing else you can do. But they didn't do
Yeah.
like anything else until they were up to level 50. They just did all these other side missions. And the time they went up
Mm.
to the story, they were grossly overpowered and just kind of, breeze through the main mission like, oh, that's no big deal. Wave my hand and shit dies. It's
Yeah,
just.
yeah, yeah. That's kind of. I don't know. I mean, people. That's what I'm saying. I mean, people enjoy games for different reasons. So, but you've had some experience with the PvP, right?
Yes.
Like
Hmm.
before the beta.
Yes.
So, I don't know if that part like was, I don't know, fun for you, or what was it like?
Well, I think the only problem I had with the PvP was that I never wanted to be a rogue agent, and you become a rogue agent when you shoot at another. You shoot and kill another agent, and then by that time you get the rogue marker on you, and then it's like a free for all, and everyone's out to kill you. Well, sometimes I would kill someone by accident because they walked right in front of me. And then I got the rogue agent label. I was like, "But I didn't mean to kill him. It's his fault for walking right in front of my
No,
crossfire." And
too late, too late.
yeah,
You're branded. You are a
yeah.
target.
And I guess, like,
But
and I know that you probably can't because of the way that it's set up, but I guess I also would have liked a little bit better
yeah.
if maybe you could, before you just start attacking and shooting other people, maybe you could talk to them, and and I don't know if you can. It wasn't set up that way at San Diego Comic Con, but just be like, hey, like, are we cool? Can we do this together? Maybe do we have to be a versus? But um, I don't know. And of course, there was a couple because I had my fire team and I was against 3 other fire teams, and there was one fire team who was just like "fuck you all," and they just went in shooting everybody. And I was kind of hoping I could get with one of the other teams to team up and go against that one, but they either you can't or they just didn't have our setup where you could. But it's something I should have asked him, and I never did. Like, is there a way I could talk to maybe the other team? Be like, hey, do we like? Can we negotiate here, or is it just "fuck you"? I want your gear. Which apparently that's what I heard went on a lot in the PvP was people just killing other people to steal their gear.
Okay, yeah, that would be sucky if you cannot just like, you know, occasionally at least team up with somebody, or I don't know, trade possibly. I don't know if that's an option at all.
Right.
And I mean, other than that, how does the like the map and the strategy and the tactical aspect of it come into it? I mean, how did you like? Can you like plan with your route to some place you have like goals and stuff? I mean, apart from the side missions, of course.
Yeah, yeah. The like for the beta, you're given a very tiny piece of the map. Like you're able to see most of the map, but you can only access a very, very small part of it. Like any part of it says out of bounds, which I'm assuming is not going to say that in the final release. I hope not. That'd be stupid. But I mean, it's like you're in New York, so you kind of going through these alleyways. It's
Hmm.
kind of hard to plan your attack until you actually get there and you can see where the cover base, where all the cover is. But there's enough around where you could, like, especially if you came around from a certain encounter point from behind, you could most likely direct like some of your team, like, hey, why don't you go flank around this side? I'll come around here, and then we could sneak up and cover, and then do a spread this
So
way.
there are kind of like real-time tactics involved.
Oh, it's totally real time.
Right.
As I learned the hard way, there is no pause because
Oh, I love that.
because there is
I love
a
that
lot of
moment.
because it
Yeah.
is an MMO, so there really is no pause. Um,
Yeah.
and I did this one mission, and I thought it was complete, and I thought I killed everybody, so I was going to upload the video for this, and I saved it and uploaded it. It came back, and there was a guy laughing over my corpse. I'm like, okay. Pro tip: make sure everybody's dead because it doesn't even pause when you're trying to upload.
make sure everybody's dead before you strike a pose for the selfies and
Yes.
your social experience, social
Yes.
sharing experience with other players. But I I was yeah.
But
I
but
mean,
this wasn't
like,
even another player. This was an AI enemy.
how did you say he was like laughing? Did he text
Oh,
or was
I'm
it
no,
like an emoji
I'm
or
saying
something?
I'm just saying that it's just
Oh,
because I mean literally because when I came back I was like, am I dead? Because my screen was all red, and there's a guy literally standing over me looking down, like, okay, wow, I guess uploading
I guess
doesn't.
you were dead. Yeah.
I was very dead, and um, had to pick my respawn point and to go on. But it's you can meet up with other players in the various camps, and that's actually where I watched 5 people in front of the store doing jumping jacks, and I just like, how long are they going to keep doing jumping jacks? And I sat there and watched them for about 2 minutes, and they kept on doing jumping jacks, and finally this one guy came out to him and started clapping, and then they
So
stopped.
was yeah, good times, good times. Enjoying every moment of the game. Anyway, but I was also gonna ask, like, I mean, okay, you soloed this like the pretty much the beta, but I'm curious, like one more thing I was curious. I mean, I was curious about is like you have these. I'm sure there are some like stats or something. How does the game, if you want to team up with somebody, is there like a matchmaking system that makes it easy for you to like
Yes,
you know
yes. In the
find teams?
in the camp, there's a tent where it's basically like where it's kind of like an area like you'd form up your squad, and in there that's where you can enter your matchmaking, or people
Yeah.
can just come over to you and you guys can kind of emote to each other and then try to hook up because it'll tell you like, do you have somebody that because it'll ask you if you already have a friend or if it wants you to
Yeah.
match you up.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So that's like one hub where every like where all players sort of like it's not a fighting area. Let's just put it that way.
Right, right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. The cool thing about all of that is that since I think this was the decision was based on this positive feedback that they have extended it for another day.
Yeah, it's over now though.
Yes, no. I'm just saying that's. I mean, it's nice. It's always a good sign.
Yes.
As well as the fact that what else they have. Well, I mean, again, we have experienced it. I mean, you've experienced it on the PS4, but like the PC version of the beta was like it had some issues, uh, technical issues on top of like people cheating and stuff.
Well, it's
So
Ubisoft and
the
PC doesn't always go
yeah, I
hand in
know, but I
hand.
mean, right, I know that they do have like a lousy reputation there, but I did see them. They're like even addressing it, like even as we speak or something.
Yeah, they're aware of all the cheating, and
Yeah,
that's part of the beta test is to find because something goes out into the wild, players will find all these things that a lot of developers never thought of. So
indeed. But it's
so
good to hear.
yeah.
So yeah, and I was just wondering because when we started like to we've sort of like put this as like a versus thing, the Division versus Destiny as a multiplayer experience, and I can say that like speaking as someone who has played Destiny now for a long time, that right now it is losing very much to something that what will apparently be a very big competitor, not just for Destiny, like in general. I mean, and Destiny is not in a good place right now. I mean, particularly the game is fine itself. It's okay. You still, I mean, the Taken King is a pretty good experience, but like the game, it's now an MMO structure. We've discussed this like a million times.
Hmm.
The MMO structure needs to be constantly like refreshed with new stuff. If you don't give this to your audience, you will start to lose it because people will get bored. It's
Right.
just it's just our nature. So, but the Division, I'm assuming, is gonna grab a whole chunk of the audience if Destiny doesn't like. if Bungie doesn't pick up,
Possibly, but one thing
pick up the pace
that I
with
did
more content.
I did talk about with one of our readers on Twitter, S. Pliskin, because he played it. He played Sense Doom. We both, and he and I were both talking about it, like with Destiny, and we were just kind of talking about how it offers a different experience than Destiny. I mean, because there's the first
Well,
person,
sure.
there's the first person versus third, and maybe that's not important to some people, but for me that is important. I've always preferred third over first, and maybe it's because I prefer the cover based shooter over the strategery of running
I
around
heard
and
that.
shooting.
Yeah, I heard that the cover is like essential, the cover system, and it doesn't. Although, I mean, you wrote it like yourself. I still urge people to like read your impressions, but you did mention like that. I'm just gonna say this that it does take some like getting used to.
Mm-hmm.
Not that let's like this huge like troublesome thing. It's just like you need to get used to it for a bit, and then after that it becomes
Right.
second nature or whatever, which is cool.
Right.
Which because obviously it's important during combat. I mean, and if they screwed that up, it would have been a disaster. So yeah, it is a different experience than
So
right
the
there.
So I mean, there's the point of view perspective, which could or could not be important for different people. There's also the whole idea of the world that you're in. Now, the only part of
Sure.
Destiny I've played is the beta,
Hmm.
and I had a while I enjoyed what I played of the beta. There was a few things that I had problems with, and one I've said this before, and I know I need to get over it. And it really bothered me how much the enemies moved, just like the
The
elites.
Covenant
Yeah,
from Halo.
yes,
Yeah.
it really bothered me, and I know it shouldn't, but it did.
Uh,
That got me, and also the whole time I'm playing, I'm like, I don't understand why I'm here. I don't know what's going on. Why am I killing these? Oh, because they're shooting at me first. Well, I kind of get that, but why are they shooting at me first? And I
mm.
the whole time I play is like I had fun, but I felt like I had to play with others to move on. It's just some areas were just
It
too
is kind
difficult
of
on your own.
yeah. Until the Taken King, that was pretty much the prevailing like stance people had.
Mm-hmm.
Like why? I mean, where, who, what the hell, and where am I, and all this stuff with like no backstory. And the fact that you really, if you want to see your character progress, and if you want to progress as a player, you have to go into these like difficult and challenging like six player only
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know what do they call the arenas
The
or no
raids. Is that the raids?
the raids, sorry,
Yeah.
not the raid, yeah, the raids. So that pretty much is very difficult. It's difficult to find. These are usually pro players, I mean, who do these raids regularly, not like pro but really high level, experienced and skillful players, and they usually restrict, they don't just accept anyone, and it's kind of difficult. The matchmaking sucks in that case as well. In addition to the like competitive multiplayer where sucks, but that part of the game is like you have to be hardcore in order to progress. You cannot be just like
Mm-hmm.
people want to relax and just play a bit and get a bit of story and stuff and have some fun. So in that sense, but that right there might be, it's essentially a design flaw. I mean, when you think about it,
Well,
that's
yeah.
game design. That's like general design. That's not a, they should have thought about that stuff. And clearly, the division. I mean, again, it's too early to say. We don't know what the final product is going to be like. We still need to like get a feel of all the like the whole package thing and what we're going to get. But it seems to me that that kind of structure they made a pretty good job. Like, I mean,
Yes, because when you're dropped into the division, I mean, you're literally dropped into it, like via helicopter, dropped in. But they tell you why you're there. You figure out really quickly who you are, what you're doing, what's going on, and you want to find
sure,
out more. Like,
right,
you got this, like, okay, so how did it get to this? Like, who's behind it? How can I save all these people? There's all these things. So I became much more interested in it. Whereas Destiny, I walked away and I never once asked myself, well, I'm really curious to find out why this is all going on. I didn't care because none of it
Yes, you were.
was presented to me enough to even get
Yes,
me
and
to
in the
interest.
division, you were just curious about the world, and you could relate to it maybe
A little,
more.
yeah.
And I mean, because it's it's like a urban, recognizable environment, and not just that, but in addition,
Hmm.
you do get these, like, you're fed some sort of segments of something that resembles the story, but you didn't get that in Destiny. I mean, I can totally
Hmm.
I totally agree with you on that because they just left so many things unexplained in Destiny, and you were always left asking way too many questions, and that leaves the players with is like this bland world you don't want to be a part of. Why would you? I mean, if
Hmm.
there's no story, if there's no like um, kind of a tangible world with characters and epic, battles or heroes. None of that. None of that is appealing in any way. So I don't know. Again, I want to be like I'm glad that the overall impressions of the beta were positive, but I want to be like cautious
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. I mean, and I was really, I was kind of nervous too because like I was thinking this whole thing could be like the PvP experience because what I had was fun, but if it is, I'm gonna log off right now and I'm gonna hook up with some friends because there's no way I'm gonna try the matchmaking because I'm too chicken. I don't I don't work. I don't like playing with people I don't know. Like at any time, like
Yeah,
for
I can.
when I had to review Gears of War Ultimate Edition, and I got opportunity to do some multiplayer because the developers held some multiplayer sessions, and so I was there with some developers and some other press, but none of us knew each other.
Mm.
It was I had fun, but it just like
You know,
when they were like, okay, we done 30 minutes. Does anyone else want to go another 30 minutes? I'm like, nope, I'm out. Because
You know what? It seems to me that the division then, in your case, you're just going to be the kind of player who prefers to go like alone or like in co-op with people that you know.
right,
So you arrange, you know, with friends to meet up, and that's it. And I think that the game provides that. I mean,
yes,
it's going to provide that. And co-op is very important. But again, like a co-op is a very Destiny also offered that kind of thing. I mean, I frequently played it with my friend. Like, let's just do this, do a few, I don't know, strikes, and you can always do that. But I never really had a fire team, and that's the point of Destiny. You have to have this fire team, and you have to go, and everything becomes easier in a way. You always have somebody watching your back, and blah blah blah. But co-op might be the like your cup of tea.
well,
That's
I
all I'm
just,
saying.
from what I experienced in the division now, I just think that there's a little bit of something for everyone. You can play solo, you can play
Which
with
is
your friends, you
great.
can do a PvP.
Yeah.
And I know that Destiny has that too, except that from my experience of Destiny, I always felt like I had to play with others. Where it was cooperatively or PvP, I always felt like I had to play with other people. And I even had friends who were like, "No, Keri, don't go play this alone. You're not going to have any fun." Of course, I have plenty of friends like you and Blake and my friend Chris who's like, "Keri, don't even bother playing. You're going to hate this game because there's not a story for you." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Well, you would be. I mean, there is a story now, but I just wouldn't bother at
Well, no
this
one
point.
tells
I
me what
mean,
it is. I ask people like, "Well, what is it about?" And they're like, "Well," and then they kind of hum and haw over
oh,
it. Oh, but this part's really fun. Oh, okay.
it's essentially pretty hollow. You killed some alien dude, and then his father is pissed off and he wants revenge, and that's the Taken King. That's like
What
the
about
whole.
before Taken King?
But before Taken King, there was seriously nothing going on. There was like
So you're
there was
just
stuff
this
happening.
thing just shooting
Yeah,
aliens.
there. Yeah, any explanations, like additional explanations you wanted, you get from the fabulous Bungie Grimoire, like collecting pieces of the story in text form and then not being able to read that in the game itself. Uh, you would instead of that you would have to go to Bungie's website, which was insane, and everybody complained about it. I mean, at least
Right, right.
in games like Dragon Age, you have those codex things, like books you can read in the game, and that would actually be kind of okay. It would still be a pisser because I mean it would be awful because you still don't have. There were no dialogues. No,
Right.
the cinematics were
Okay.
very
See,
scarce.
you say that they had the codex, but Dragon Age at least had the story going on around it,
It's
versus
ridiculous to compare it because Dragon
well,
Age had a
well,
story.
I was going to say those Final Fantasy
Yeah,
13 had the same thing like that. Like
right.
there is a story and there are all these codexes, but the story is very much like, what the fuck is happening? And a
But
friend
that's
told me that you like read the codex. I'm like, that's stupid. I shouldn't have to, but it was true. It's what you had to do.
exactly. And again, that's bad design. That's
Yes.
you don't need to be. I mean, it's not a medium that should require you to read. It's great that's what I liked about Dragon Age, especially Origins. The main story and the base of the thing and the backstory are incredibly rich. There are all these dialogues and even voiced characters, and the codex thing is just like this
Backstory,
right,
history.
but
Yeah.
exactly, and but it's so good, like the whole story is so good that you want to read these things,
Right.
and it's kind of an extra. I mean, you don't have to, but you get a lot of things, and it's also very closely like related to the gameplay. Actually, you can even find quests in there and hidden stuff. I
Right.
mean, the
Right.
possibilities. What are we talking about here? Like the possibilities for a game are endless, and Destiny and Bungie pretty much blew it. So I'm hoping that the Division won't make the same mistake. I also wanted to like ask. I'm not necessarily like. I'm not sure if this is the same team. Probably isn't. But Ubisoft Massive was made from those guys who it was like the studio that made like World and Conflict and those like older games. It was a real-time strategy and stuff. So those guys were pretty good.
I don't know if there's
I,
if that's still the
yeah, I
same
don't know if like
team.
it's because I remember like looking it up earlier today, and if any of those guys are still around in the team, it makes sense that they sort of could set up. They had like really good mission design. It was enjoyable. So
Yeah,
there
I'm
might
gone
be
to.
some history there, which is nice.
Oh, okay. So, four different studios.
Are Ubisoft Massive? You mean
Let's
four different
see.
studios?
Let's see. They're called. It's Annecy, Massive, Red Storm, and Reflections. Those are the studios working on the Division.
Was probably a lot of people then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, given the scale of the project, it doesn't surprise me at all.
No, and they had to. Cause I think it was originally supposed to be on last generation or PC only. I don't. I
I wouldn't, make any bets on that one, but
because I was just
possibly
wondering like
maybe
they had to bring in more people to do the newer
maybe PC
generation.
only, but I don't want to,
Yeah, I don't remember
I'm
because it
not
was
sure.
announced so long ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just know that for some reason, like after the very first demo, the E3 demo, people were going crazy about it because it looked so like, uh, what's the word? Like something like it really felt real. It looked so like realistic,
Hmm.
and on top of that, it seemed to have like um, characters, humans that are essentially like guys just trying to survive, but are humans, and they have a purpose.
Right.
And it was like just this one uh, relatively brief gameplay trailer. And from that moment on, that's it. The hype was just like going and going and going until, well, they did kind of. After that, though, footage was shown for quite a while, actually, now that I think about it. I
Yeah.
just can't remember what the history of the announcements were. Was it like from day one? Was it for consoles, or was it like announced later on that it would be consoles as well?
Yeah.
But
Again, I don't remember. It's too
regardless,
long
yeah,
ago.
it's not important. Yeah, but it's not important at this like point, and even like the industry, when you think about it, uh, you clearly see like these big publishers and developers setting up all these big studios, because of the fact that it's now stretched across 3 platforms, and obviously it gets too much to handle as the release date gets closer. And as you say, the whole point of the beta is just like to test this thing
Mm-hmm.
and see what kind of shit we have to deal with before it goes, before it like goes out the door. So I'm hoping that whatever they found out about like the PC version, they can fix as much as possible before launch day, so we don't have like all that annoying,
Mm-hmm.
generally like backlash, and then the potential disasters that we had last year for many PC releases.
Well, hey, it's already done better than the first Rainbow Six Siege beta. So,
Oh yeah,
there's
um, yeah.
Ubisoft is
That's fact, not
they're
yeah.
learning. They're learning. Takes them a while, but they're. I was actually kind of nervous. Like here's because I knew the Xbox One was a day before, but then it got opened up to PC and PS4. I'm like, okay, so how much is it going to be down? And apparently people were having
Yeah, that's it.
problems downloading it because they didn't redeem their key until the day of that the beta was there, and it was going to take like 18 hours to download because of trying to get all the
Yeah.
PSN and everything. I was like, well, noobs should have done it the day before if you already had the key.
But as you say, they clearly they learned something. I'm just sad that like this kind of testing cannot be used for a single player game like Assassin's Creed, which constantly is like seriously bugged on the PC, particularly whenever any Assassin's Creed game like reaches launch day, it's a disaster. So I mean, if you can remember, I don't know if you can, like a while back, developers usually like released single player demos, but
I was actually
those
just
were
about to
just,
say, like, I wonder
yeah,
why
but
no one does demos anymore.
I think it does not, it doesn't give them the promotional thing that they need,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets the users like pissed off if they're not happy or something. I don't know exactly. There were a few teams like explaining this why there are no more single player demos,
Mm-hmm.
but essentially they would lose a lot of time during the development cycle for the main project to polish one demo.
Okay, I can
So
kind of
that
see
would
that, which basically
yeah, so
means
that
that
would and also
you got crunch
not
time and
only
deadlines are the enemy
right,
here
right.
again.
But again, you don't have to. You can have like this just one demo, and then the problem was they also have to have like an E3 demo for I don't know if it was for press only purposes or whatever, and then they would end up making these demos instead of focusing on the fucking game. So that might be part of the issue there.
Which
But
makes me wonder if maybe they should contract out some. I mean, I don't. Obviously, maybe I'm asking too much. But, to
that's too
contract out
much.
like
Yeah, but
like
then
Blur or
you
somebody to make the demo.
yes, but then you stretch the whole thing way too much and rather unnecessary. And again, it's probably has a lot to do with time and money, as everything does. So,
Or because what
but
demos used to be, they used to be just like the first part of the game, like the big
as a
chunk.
user, as a user, I kind of miss them. I admit.
Yeah,
I mean,
that actually determined if I bought a game or not half the time.
right? I mean, remember like Far Cry, Crysis, all these games like they had single player demos before. The Crysis demo, for the first Crysis game, was so fucking huge. I mean, because we were hosting it on Action Trip, we were one of the file websites, one of
Mm-hmm.
the first file websites that got the demo. That was amazing. There was so much traffic then, and people were downloading it left and right, and everybody wanted to have a piece of the action. And I remember we were playing it on the one PC in the office that could handle all the max settings, and we replayed it because it was so cool and the story looked so promising and all that stuff. It's great to lure you in, but then again, it probably took them quite some time to get that right. I don't know. Again, it would be probably good to have that for kind of a test to see, how your game is going to perform. But that's just one demo. I don't know if that can, they have to do the
Right.
entire game.
Right,
So I don't know.
which will go back to like what the Witcher 3 developers said when people were criticizing like how great the game looked in their E3 demos, and they're like, "Oh, it's because we
Yeah.
only had one small thing versus loading up the entire world." So you kind of
Well,
get that
imagine
too.
that. Then so you have like this whole open world game, and they have to make sure that everything works right in that.
Right.
And then you have the, and that's just one team. Granted, it's a huge studio now, but I'm sure that the core team is always focused on the core game, and
Mm-hmm.
then the demo would kind of be a waste of time. And yet you want the demo to be good and well polished, so that people would get interested in the game. I'm pretty sure they would just like, you know what, fuck this. Let's just stick to betas for multiplayer stuff, and that's it. Uh, um, but
Well, I mean, hell, SimCity could have the recent one from
oh my
2013
god,
that could have learned from a beta.
yeah, for a demo from yeah.
And
It's
that's
yeah.
just because that was a online only single player. I mean, that really, if anything, needed a beta. That did.
I'm just grateful that like this studio showed up and you know did a better job than basically a large studio and a large publisher. Like, we can do this, so let's do it. So I'm talking about Cities Skyline. Did I say that right?
City Skylines, yeah.
Cities Skylines, yeah. So at least we have a decent. At the end of it all, we have a decent sim
Oh, I wouldn't say we have a
management.
decent City Sim. I think we have a fantastic City
Right,
Sim.
right. Sorry, yeah. I didn't play it, but yeah, I know that it was like pretty well praised,
Oh,
even like
it's
so.
hard. Like,
Well, yeah, but
uh,
that's what it was. That's what SimCity was. The old one, which I loved, like SimCity 4 and SimCity Rush Hour. I love those games. I liked the fact that they were hard, because that's what running a city should be. Not like
yes.
building, tiny theme parks or whatever, and putting buildings like that. It reminded me more like of something like something you saw on Nintendo or something. Just like it was way too cartoonish, way too simple.
Yeah, I
It
actually
just
got
lost its appeal.
Nintendo's SimCities either for the DS or the 3DS. And I got rid of it like within 2 days because it's like, okay, like I was actually trying to fail and I couldn't
That's what.
fail with the city. I'm like, all right, forget it. Like,
Yeah, what's the point of that? I mean,
yeah.
and then this like maintaining, that was the hardest thing in the old SimCity games. Like maintaining your budget was almost impossible. So you
And
could be this
unless you
sleazy,
knew the little cheat codes.
Well, I actually didn't use those, even though knew they existed. A lot of people were using them, but I was like, I was the really hardcore player there, and I didn't mind being like this evil, governor that sells a local, part of like land to a nuclear, power plant for something toxic waste and stuff. Never mind, they're gonna give us money. We need the money.
I think the last SimCity I played was maybe SimCity 2000, so that's how long ago it's been.
That's ancient, yeah, but it
Yeah.
was a good one as well. I
But the
mean,
one I'd
kind of.
played before that was the original black and white.
Oh
So,
yeah,
so,
I
so I'd had a
yeah.
great space in between there. So I'm playing SimCity 2000, and I'm playing I always loved the scenarios of the original SimCity. So I decided to play a scenario in SimCity 2000, and
Yeah.
one of the I think it was like California forest fires. So, so what am I doing? I am bulldozing the forest, around the fire to contain it, and I got fucking rioters complaining I'm bulldozing
Oh,
down the environment. Like, do you want your house to burn?
right, right. Well, that's it. That's it. That's the chaos. You get to like, you get caught up in that, and that's kind of the part of the fun. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, just like sort of unpredictable events.
It was like I think one of the scenarios I did from the original SimCity was Hamburg, Germany during the World War II bombings. And just as I had gotten the city back to where it was and everything is fine, the fires are all out, it's rebuilding, like, I'm actually going to make this scenario. I got the population back up. Another bombing run happened. Like, oh, fuck this. I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could like put yourself through all these like ridiculous challenges, and in addition to being able to maintain like a huge, thriving city. And I
Yep.
always remember like thinking, man, will I just like this part of sleazy part of town or something that never gets anywhere, and the buildings won't evolve. I love the fact that the small buildings, the teeny tiny buildings, like change so much in appearance, and then one part of the city is like it progresses and stuff, and the other one just never does. I was
Just
like,
like real life.
yeah, and when are things gonna change for you guys? Let me do something. You know, I'm gonna build a zoo here or something. It's just it's pointless because they cannot afford the ticket, and then transit systems and all that stuff and building up the town, but
Yeah, that's
trying
probably
to manage the resources.
one of the hardest things with city skylines was getting my traffic under control
Yeah,
and
yeah, that was
and figuring out the water. Just
right, and not being like enough water for everybody, or have to like have a lake or a river nearby.
well, it's just where to put your water treatment plant where it's not going into the sewage and lining that
Yeah,
up and then
yeah.
getting the lines to go. You have to plant the
Right,
house. I'm like,
underground. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
But that. Yeah, that's what the
You
city
will
one.
enjoy your
And
sewage and like it. Oh, where's everybody
you
going?
think, yeah. Where are you going? You think it's easy managing? Come back. I need help.
And City Skylines actually have like a Twitter like thing, and so it's like you're trending on Twitter, but not in a good way. Like, well, they try to come in here and do this. This is a thankless job.
So last I heard from those guys is they made a night mode or something,
No,
nighttime
Snowfall.
something.
That's the most recent
Oh
one. Is
no.
Snowfall.
Oh, so that's more recent. Oh,
Yes.
cool. So it's like with snow or
Yeah.
something. So they didn't have dynamic weather then.
Yes. Yep. So you can bury your entire city in snow now.
What about rain? Do they have rain?
I'm sure there's rain.
You can bury your city in snow. Well,
Yeah, but I
yeah,
think it's like if you activate the mode, then a blizzard can come in, and now you have to deal with snow
all the
plows and other
yeah, yeah,
maintenance
yeah.
and
Traffic becoming slower, power
Mhm.
outage
people
probably,
not knowing how to
snowstorm.
drive in snow.
Right, right. From what I heard statistically, like there's less traffic accidents because people are more careful when it's snow and ice.
Not here.
I don't know. I don't hear
Well, because nobody knows how to drive in snow. See, my response is I don't know how to drive in snow. I know this because it only snows once a year, so I stay in. Other people
it's
are
not
like snow's not that bad, and then they just go like 90
yeah.
miles an hour.
No, the thing is, snow isn't that bad. Ice is,
That's our
especially if it's like
problem is that we have ice.
underneath the yeah under if the snow covers the ice, that's a problem. Even if you have like the best winter tires in the world, it probably won't help because ice is pretty much lose lose
That's one thing I
thing.
try to explain to everybody. Is like, why does Texas shut down? Like, well, it's because we don't really have snow. We have ice, and there's some snow on top of it, or it's just black ice, and that's all we have. And I know you guys don't drive in black ice either.
Right,
No.
right. I
Yep.
mean, like it's yeah, we're veered off from
I love
what
how we've gone from division to
to
to driving in
snowstorms and
snow.
to driving in snow in Texas, and it's in
It's
fact
very
not snow
important.
actually, but it is. I mean, it's what influences game design. Come on, real life.
Right. That is true.
I
Because art
mean,
imitates life, right? Or is it life imitates art? Or is it both?
it's both. Let's just say it's both. Just for the sake of argument, let's just finish the argument by saying it's both. Also, I think that uh, Ubisoft, I mean, it is a post-apocalyptic scenario, right?
Yes.
So,
And it's very cold. So we're back to the
but
snow.
is there? I did not like uh, read this all the way. Like, is there like an explanation to what happened? Was there a war? Is it an ongoing or?
All that you know is that someone decided it'd be fun, to release biological warfare in the middle of
Oh yeah,
New York on Black
yeah,
Friday.
right. I remember that.
Like I
That
think it's on the money on the currency, and as it passes through people, because as it exchanges hands. This is just what I'm remembering from E3 several years ago, talked about how they put it on currency, and as currency passes hands, more and more people would get it. And they did it on Black Friday and put it out there because more
Oh,
people are going shopping.
right. Makes sense. Hmm.
So, but we don't know who, why, and I think all that, like, basically, because I kind of started at the very beginning where you're just trying to contain it, and you're also trying to find out more information about the virus so that you can maybe
Hmm.
cure these people.
Hmm.
So I'm sure
It's
all
cool. I mean,
that.
it's a cool, it's a nice setup for a post-apocalyptic for the post-apocalyptic genre. So
Yes. I kind of like that
I'm
it's
just,
kind of like an immediate post apocalyptic, like it's something that could actually happen now, post apocalyptic,
right, right. It's
versus
not like that
10,000 years in
distant.
the
Yeah.
future.
No, no, no. I see what you mean
Yeah.
because like all the weapons are pretty recognizable.
Yeah.
It's not like lasers or proton cannons or power converters. And...
Or even something like, what's it called? Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah,
Something like that. Because that's post apocalyptic too, but that's so far in the future that I don't know why we have in this. We go so
that
far in the
humans,
future that we've regressed. So we're back
yeah,
to bows and
the
arrows
species
and.
has devolved or whatever the
Right,
term
right,
is. It's like it's starting from scratch, building new tools, building
right.
from scratch, and we're basically like it's back to the Bronze Age and uh, um, ancient like history stuff. But I like that approach as well. I mean, that's more that's more of like post-apocalyptic, but like fantasy, you know, mixed with heavy fantasy. Because like in that game, you have those like mythical, slash machine slash living
Mm-hmm.
things walking around, which is also kind of cool. Oh man, I really hope they don't fuck that one. Yeah, I liked how it looked. Uh, I don't know. We've seen like
Too little.
too,
Too
too
little to
little
say.
to judge or say. Let's hope they're working on it. Anything else we want to talk about
Well,
before?
since we're like going on like 45 minutes now and got onto snow, what have you been playing? You've been playing more Destiny, you apologist.
No, I finished Game of Thrones. I'm done with that thing forever. But yeah,
Was it
Destiny. Like,
depressing as hell? Game of Thrones?
look, the Game of Thrones TV show and books are depressing, but somehow they're fun. Uh, don't. I mean,
Is it not fun when it's you that's
I can't.
dying?
I cannot explain why because I would have to like go into detail about the show and the writer of the books and stuff. Here is just like it's a game, and you play it as you would play The Walking Dead or its classic Telltale,
Mm-hmm.
thing. What you what you expect here is good characters, and yes, you have those. And then you know it's Game of Thrones, so you know that half of these are destined to die,
If not
and
all.
some, if not all, and some die sooner, some die later.
Mm-hmm.
But through the course of the like 5 chapters you have the episodes, it gets very easy to predict the outcome of these.
Oh, that's kind of a shame.
Uh, yeah, I'm not saying it's badly written or anything, but I mean I guess it kind of is because the ending is kind of it was for me, it was a disappointment. Uh, it's like I did not want. Uh, I appreciate them telling their own story, but it's kind of like I wasn't left with much choice in the end. I just want to. I don't know if this is just me. Like when I play a game, I would like some of my heroes to survive.
Well, then
but
don't play
and,
Game of Thrones.
and it's not just that. Like you have Game of Thrones, but a lot of those characters you actually have time to get to know them, and then you're sad that they're gone,
Well, that's
and
kind
you
of the
don't.
point, right?
Right, but that doesn't happen here. They just go away too soon. Uh, I mean, even Ned Stark had some screen time.
Oh, that killed me in the book. 'Cause I read the book like
No,
15
that
years
was
ago or
a
something.
spoiler without warning, damn it. But I'm come on.
Okay, I'm sorry. The book is 15 plus years old. The TV series at that point, what, we're in the sixth season, so we're talking 6, 7 years ago. I mean, sorry if you didn't know that Ned
Sorry
Stark
if you
is
didn't
dead.
watch Game of Thrones, we just spoiled. Uh, yeah. Well,
Well,
anyway.
of all
Oh
the
yeah, and then
spoilers we could have given, like, that's not the biggest one.
another thing that which I kind of like explained. I explained it in the review, so I won't say much about it. But like, uh, most of the characters here are like the male and female archetypes are very much similar to those we've seen
Mm,
in the series, like this the Stark family. It's a very similar structure. It's it's not House Stark, it's House Forrester,
right.
and you have the dominant male, you have the lord of the house, you have the dominant matriarch, basically the mother who is like also trying to cope with stuff and blah blah. And then you have the kids, a whole bunch of kids. They made a ton of kids, and it's all the same. And now they trying to grow up and blah blah blah. They could have tried and told the police. I mean, it is a rich, it is a this like world with that's rich in lore. The books, I don't know if they had they were limited with the source material or what they could use, but I would have loved to see something, that wasn't seen in the series, and yet they could have, then I would have loved to see that, just some aspect of the world we haven't seen yet, or anything like a different story told, not so similar to the series. It felt like it was just too easy. Let's just use the same formula, and people are gonna love it because it's Game of Thrones. Will not.
Well,
It
then why
doesn't.
don't you go pick up the uh, the Game of Thrones RPG that came out several years ago,
I played that. Jeez, that's awful.
and that will depress the fuck out of you.
Yeah, I have. It already did this. It left a mark. Let's just put it that way. I mean, that was.
Yeah, because I played it
Um,
through. I had my ending, and I was like, "Well, dear God, what if I'd chosen the other way?" I saw the way that ended. I was like, "There's no winning." I'm like, "Oh, well, just like the book, there's no winning. You're screwed either way."
right, right. But again, a book does a better job of telling the
Well,
story. I
of
mean,
course it does. It's the original.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. There is way to put good characters in. You just need a bit of time to grow and like them. It's too just like too tight, too short. If you know what I mean.
Mm.
I don't know. But overall, I mean, other than that, I didn't play anything much. I like played Destiny for a bit and got tired of it real quick because there's really nothing more to do at this point. Oh, sure. I mean, everybody's waiting. Everybody is waiting for the Crimson Days and the Valentine's Day update. I'm sure that's gonna bring a lot of happiness to people, couples who want to play Destiny together. Uh, but that's all there is to look forward to at the moment in that world.
Well,
My
it's not
girlfriend
too much
does not.
different
She
from
doesn't play Destiny. I don't want to put her through that.
for any other game. When you're done with it, you're done with it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty much prepared to like, um, to
I mean, you've put in
to do
hundreds
that.
of hours into it. Most likely, you've gotten your money's
Yes,
worth.
but like in the past year, well, not past year, but like after the Taken King came out, I did play it like uh, maybe a month or maybe two after that, but never like they weren't. I didn't lose any sleep over it. Let's just put it that way. I mean,
This
I
is
used
what.
to play games, a lot more than I.
Well, we all
This
did.
it's not, yeah, you know.
This is what you need to do. You have Destiny has run its course. It is
Yes,
you've
it
gotten your
has.
money's worth out of it. It's not like you're paying a subscription where they just keep on taking money from you, not giving you anything. You've so let it go. put it aside. It's time to move on, and take your Destiny time and play The Witcher 3.
You see, now this is very difficult for me because that is like a it's like you're the temptress here now, because if I start playing that and I have all these reviews assignments waiting,
All I'm saying is that your
not the
Destiny
right
time.
time.
Make it The Witcher 3 time instead of your Destiny time. Anytime you think, I think I'll play a couple hours of Destiny. No, 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 no. Go put in Witcher 3.
No, I don't think about playing Destiny anymore in that way as like I used to think. It's just, I mean, I could I could like make a new character and start over, but I
No,
don't
no,
want
no,
to
no,
go
no.
there.
No, no, no.
No,
Witcher
no.
3.
I do no. As I said, I don't want to go there because essentially, mm, the three different classes. Yes, they have their like there are
Okay, you know
kind of
what?
different.
I'm going to send a text to your girlfriend and tell her, hey, hide Destiny, or at least put The Witcher 3 disc in the Destiny box so he can't play it.
You could, but I'm telling you right now, you don't have to because I am essentially I'm almost like done with it because like in the last maybe 3 weeks I played it twice and
That's 2
for
times you could be playing The Witcher.
yeah we was talking to The Witcher.
No, I'm not going to. Because you keep saying, I
I'm
wish
just
I
saying
had time
like
for The Witcher.
even those 2 times were like maybe 1 hour
You
or
know, it's like
something,
a crack
not that
up
long.
and work chat because you and Blake both talk about how you don't have time to play these games, but then you guys start talking about Destiny. I'm like, take Destiny out of your PS4s, put in
It
something
is
else.
out. It is out most of the. I don't play anything like it's. I don't play it anymore. Like the entire New Year's went by. I did not play it once during the holidays, right? And all these like recent, like short sessions that I had was just basically to see what in the state of the game is at right now. Like did they fix these things? Did they optimize the competitive multiplayer? I wanted to get into the Crucible and see what that's like. Maybe try a different weapon or something. It just didn't. Sure, it just didn't hold my attention for length of time. But then again, I say that I still don't have a. I don't have a fire team, and this friend of mine who used to play co-op with me, like, he doesn't play the game anymore, so I really don't know what the point is. What I am waiting for, like right now, is is XCOM 2, and I know that that's gonna be another temptress for me. Like, yes, I'm gonna review it, but it would be tempting to stop playing. I'm hoping it's good. I mean. I'm hoping I'll like it, actually. I'm not hoping it's good, I'm hoping I'll like it.
Well, Metacritics liked it, so there you go.
Well, then yeah, we can say our goodbyes, and I will never turn it off. That's how objective I am when I do a review.
Metacritic liked it. You should too.
Yeah, now leave me alone. I want to play it.
Too busy playing.
Just buy it. Just buy it. Leave me alone. Yeah. You should do this like instead of like these text reviews that we have. We should like the one sentence summaries.
There you go.
Shut up and take. It's the old shut up and take my money routine. What do you expect? It's a nice game. Go and play. Or it sucks. People stay away. Stay away. Don't do this to yourself. Don't waste your time. Everything all right?
Yeah, it's just the printer decided to turn itself on. That's always creepy.
Oh, I thought it was the dog or something.
No, he's supposed to be outside.
But that's it for like that's pretty much that's it for me. What's I mean you're done with the beta.
Yeah, I'm done with the beta.
That.
I think we've beaten that to death. I don't need to talk about that anymore.
I don't even sure you want to talk about this other game you're
yes,
playing.
you do. You know you want me to talk about Mega Dimension Neptunia V2. It's not 7. It's V2.
Okay, really quick.
It's a JRPG. I'm done.
That is the best summary I've heard.
It's a JRPG. This is the 4th in this series. It's JRPG that kind of makes fun of the gaming industry, and it really does. It does it it actually is very clever in how it does it. Like, cause it tackles like different tropes and things like that, and about gaming culture and society. It's like, oh wow, you got me! Like, this is so brilliant. And then it's immediately, we're gonna have naked time, and these four girls will just get naked on your screen. I'm just like, okay, I'm so uncomfortable. Can you guys just put some clothes on? Like, there's like no, like, and I have no problem with nudity. I mean, I played The Witcher 2, obviously, but
Nothing wrong with nudity.
no, there's nothing wrong with nudity, but there's got to be a damn point to it. And this is just, I guess the point is, let's watch these four girls take a bath together, because they take showers so often. And of course, the water is it splashes at a very, opportune spot, and
any excuse to take their clothes off, right? And
yeah,
have a shower.
it's just, I mean, it had some really good, like, combat mechanics, and like, I kind of enjoyed it, but then they just get naked and just be like, oh, they're naked again. Oh, I have no interest.
I love the fact that you actually can spend some time with this game and you're having fun, and then your immersion is broken by a single character's shower time.
Oh, I even put that in my review, because I reviewed it for PlayStation Lifestyle, and I said, just as they would get me behind, I was like, yeah, this is great, you guys are so brilliant. Then it takes a sharp turn to Naked Town, and I was done. And
sharp town to naked turn. I mean, I like.
Yeah, sharp town to naked turn. Yeah, like, I think because over there they have you do like a sub headline, and my sub headline was, "It's not just the bras that are padded," because the game was probably the most padded JRPG I've ever played, and that's saying something, because JRPGs are very padded.
So what was the score? Final score, if you can say.
6.5.
That's actually higher than Game of Thrones.
See, I have not read your Game of Thrones review yet. Wow, I'm actually... Whoa.
I'm just saying it's higher. It's a higher score. So there.
Of which Game of Thrones? The Telltale or the other
Telltale one? The Telltale one.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now we can recommend the game.
And I think you just need to stay away from Telltale games, because you weren't that enamored with the Borderlands.
I love The Walking Dead. You can
just stick with the zombies then.
It's just no.
I'll take Minecraft Story Mode when that one finishes.
Well, I heard that's pretty good. So, but I
heard Game of Thrones was pretty good.
I don't like Minecraft. The entire like.
I don't like Minecraft either.
Well,
my son actually watches YouTube videos of people playing Minecraft.
Well,
I don't get it.
There are channels that kids his age are making, so
yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, he wants me to let him make one, and I say no, because that's just the bitch of a mom that I am.
Right. Too early for you to start a career on YouTube. You should be learning something useful in school and trying to be a doctor.
I keep trying to tell him, like, can you please stop watching a video of Minecraft, someone playing Minecraft, and just go fucking play Minecraft? He's like, but I'm learning how to do this. I'm like, no, go play. Just go play Minecraft. You don't need to watch someone playing it.
Oh, I love that modern day parenthood, man. Stop watching the game. Play it. Since Jesus.
Yes!
Right. I love that. Shall we try and wrap it up before we,
Yeah, wrap it up. Yes. So, okay, so we're wrapping it up. All right, so subscribe to our YouTube channel for more lovely videos like this, and gameplay videos and unboxings and all kinds of stuff. You can see one of my one of the encounters I did in Tom Clancy's The Division. It's up there. Maybe I'll post some of this JRPG, because I know how much everybody here just loves JRPGs, and you just got to see the naked girls. I know you guys want to see naked girls.
I don't know what the policy on YouTube for that is, but I think I don't know if we can. Can we?
They're not. You don't see nipples.
It's not explicit, right?
No, you don't see nipples.
Well, I think that's cool.
You got the undercarriage, just tastefully covered up by water or a towel.
Tastefully covered up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we could use the extra.
Yeah. There you go. I'll just put up some naked girls. People always like that. Pervs.
Yeah,
anyway. So, and we're also a podcast. If you don't want to watch us, you can listen to us. We are on SoundCloud and we are on iTunes, and you can follow us on Twitter. The site is action_trip. Urosh is Udre Vader, and I am Crunchy at Crunchy Chocobo. And thank you so much for listening, watching, and keep on reading Action Trip. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.